So due to the nature of the northeast climate and all the salt that we get, I've developed another problem. Right there. So got a leaking fuel line on the pressure side, which I kind of notice most times you have them on the pressure side because there's no real pressure on the return unless you have a pressure regulator in your tank on the return, but I think normally they're up on the engine or something. I guess every system can be different. I believe on this one the pressure return is up on the engine, or the fuel pressure regulator is up on the engine, so the return line doesn't really have any pressure on it, and there's very little pressure on the evap line. So I got a kit to redo all three. I believe it's like $150 for all three lines. I'm going to do them in nylon. The only real foreseeable problem I have is going to be getting it back into these quick disconnects, because normally they swell up and they rust inside the quick disconnect, and if they come out they usually rip the guts out with it. So that's going to be my main problem, is getting that out, and on the return line obviously. I wanted to get just nylon tube compression fittings. I probably still can. I think air brakes, you can use the same air brake line or air brake compression fittings. I'm not sure. I imagine, because they're all nylon. But I wanted to just cut that off there and then use a compression fitting and continue with that, and that would be a lot faster than replacing that quick disconnect. But we'll see how it goes when we get there. I believe the nylon one, or the evap one, comes and goes directly into the canister. I don't think you have to really mess around with it right here, because it's just such a short run and you don't have to go over the top of the tank. That's probably why they splice it in there, so you don't have to go over the tank and pull the lines out. I could probably get this tank down if I had to. I've had it down before, probably a couple years ago. But anyway, so initially I wanted to just rip all the lines out and go all the way up and just stick them right in the same connectors. But looking at it, I'll have to get a light, but up by the transmission, they're obviously all hard bent lines, and the problem I would have is that the distance between the clamps and stuff, I wouldn't be able to have it run the same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them off right here or right there, one of the two, and I'm going to use them and zip tie the lines to the fuel lines that are there. I know it's kind of a hack way of doing it, but there's no way to keep it routed the way that it's routed without zip tying it to the lines that are there, because there's such a great distance between the fixed clamps. Like there's one here, right there, and then the other one is up on top of the transmission, or up by the bell housing on one of the bolts up there. So it's just the lines are just gonna kind of go all over. They're not gonna hold the same shape that's there, so I kind of have to keep them there to zip tie it to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them off right about there, and then I'm gonna put them in all the connectors and then run them along the frame rail the way that it's run now, because I believe they'll hold into it, because I think it's the same size roughly. But anyway, so I will show you what I got. Unless I'm wrong. This one might be the evap. You know what? This one I think is the evap line. I think that might be the evap. This might be the return. I don't know. I gotta look at the instructions. I don't think they're both the same size anyway. I'm pretty sure this one with the white connector is the evap one, because it's got the 90 on it, so it 90's in. Alright, so this is the blue one. So that's supposed to go into the quick disconnect that's there. This one goes into the fuel filter, into one of these ends. I'm not sure which end. And this guy goes from the quick disconnect that's off the fuel tank to the fuel filter. I have some quick disconnect tools, and we got the instruction kit. So this stuff is all from Inline tube, if you can't tell. They do a lot of stainless lines and fuel lines and stuff. They didn't seem to have any for anything newer. This is for 99 to 03 Silverado GMC truck, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, all these 2003 HD 3500, the main line, return line, vapor line replacement kit. So I don't know how different it would be. I've redone a fuel line in an 04 Suburban, and it's not set up like this. It's a returnless system, and there's no fuel filter in the middle. The fuel filter's in the tank on the fuel pump. So basically it's just this, but a little longer. So if you want to just do a nylon line, you could probably just do that. But anyway, let's go over to the shade and see what we got here. Oh, I got this too. Nylon fuel line repair kit. Just in case I gotta change that fitting, which I know I'm gonna have to, or gotta do something with it, but comes with all kinds of little tidbits and goodies and stuff. Uh-oh. Using that. So to be perfectly honest, I might have a compression fitting in here. See, that's kind of what bothers me, is they went, well, this goes from a hard line to the line there. They might have the tube compression fitting here, 3/8 nylon to nylon. So I have one right here. So I can use that if I have to. And then I also have the 5/16, so I can use that too if I have to. So I ought to be good. Or I could probably just cut both ends and put a union in too. I mean, I guess I could do a bunch of different things. Whatever I want to do, we can make it happen. I don't know. I'm kind of lazy, and I'm looking for the easy way out. And I kind of want to save the stuff in the kit. I don't know why. It was actually kind of pricey. I think it was like $150, $200. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of expensive for this. So I don't want to just use the stuff up willy-nilly if I don't have to. So yeah, I might just change the end. I mean, I got the, like I said, I have the ends they sent with the kit, and I got the tool to put it in. So providing I don't break the tool, because I heard it wasn't a very good tool. Anyway, so I'm going to disconnect existing fuel line in front of the tank to the engine. At the engine side, discard, leave in place. Do not disconnect. To disconnect the fuel lines, you need a disconnect tool, which is the ones I showed you. No need to remove the fuel tank or charcoal canister. So main fuel line, start at the tank with the short green 20-inch piece and push connect tube snaps into the existing tank plastic line. Short green 20-inch piece. The push connect tube snaps into the existing tank plastic line, which is the one with the disconnect I'll probably have to change. The other one connects to the fuel filter. The second green line goes from the fuel filter to the engine. Start running the new lines to the front of the engine, to the front of the vehicle. The new quick connect fuel filter will be the same location as the existing fuel filter. Remove quick connects at the back of the engine. Again, you will need a disconnect tool. 4.3s are threaded at the back of the engine. Route the ends that have the plastic shield up and over the transmission and connect it to the engine. So the plastic, they call it a shield, but it's just a plastic wire loom that goes up on the engine side. Route the ends that have the plastic shield of the transmission connects the engine. Do not kink or pinch the line. Also keep away from any exhaust pipes, moving parts, or linkage once they're in place. If the line is too long, cut anywhere on the line and use the blue-black union to connect back together. I'm going to try not to do that because I don't really like them. They work all right, I guess, but I've never put fuel through them. I know we use them for airlines, and sometimes they start leaking, and I don't necessarily want to do that. So I'm going to try to stay away from the quick connect thing like that. The compression fittings are different than the quick connect ones. I mean, they're good at first, but I mean, you get a few years on them and salt and stuff, and they start to degrade. And like I say, I'm gonna try not to do that if I don't have to do that. Okay, so fuel return line. Repeat steps 2 for the fuel return line. Install at the fuel tank. In the end, the tank end is the metal tube at the engine side, and the engine side is the female quick connect. Cut the fuel return line to length as needed, and connect with the blue-black plastic or the black-blue plastic female push union to the desired length. The vapor tank line has the white 90 with the black-blue plastic female push union. I feel it should be written blue-black. I don't know why. I guess black-blue, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. It just comes out weird. I keep messing it up. Maybe I'm just wrong. Disconnect the existing old line coming out of the charcoal canister at the front of the fuel tank. Snap in place the white 90 end and route it towards the engine to the green cap T Schrader valve. Cut the nylon line going into the Schrader valve where the nylon is straight, and connect the new line using the nylon to nylon connector, black blue plastic female push union, or use the fuel hose and clamp both ends. After the line is routed, cut the extra nylon line off and push into the nylon connector. Apply caution fuel line stickers to the new fuel lines. And safety first. So I guess this is them showing you how to kind of get it together. Cut the outer cover near. This is probably get it into the ones that were there. So cut old outer covering near the end of the fuel fitting barb. Leave 1/8 inch on the existing barb and cut around it. So probably to leave the flared section, so it's already kind of flared to get the new piece in. This leaves a large opening in the nylon to start the new quick connect. By leaving 1/8, the end is already expanded for the new fitting. Look at that. Remove the remainder of the old quick connect barb from the nylon tube using the long pliers. Clamp on and pull it out. Using long nose pliers, flare out the opening of the nylon hose. For ease of sliding in the new fitting or connector, you may want to use a tube flaring tool to hold the nylon tube while working on it. Leave 1/2 inch sticking out and stretch with long nose pliers. Place nylon hose into the tube flaring tool. You may want to lubricate the new connector barb with grease or oil before you push the new fitting into the nylon hose. Line sizes: main fuel line green or 3/8, fuel return line blue 5/16, fuel vapor line white 5/16 or 1/4 inch. So it looks like they're just using like a brake flaring tool to hold it so they can shove it in. Alright, so I guess first steps first is I'm going to have to get the line out. So I'm going to work on the pressure line first. That one is my primary concern at the moment because that's the one that is leaking at the moment. And like I said, it's pretty hot and I don't feel like doing this. So, yeah. Alright, so took our screw off. Let's pull our lid out. Put that aside. So let's see, this is our fuel in. Take our clamp off. Just went in, snapped on, pulled it up and slid it out. And put it up there. So that's what we got. We got the supply line up on top and the return line underneath. So let's pull the supply line out first. I'll try to get that in there. So I'm using this. It's a 3/8 quick disconnect. you're going to put it around the tube here, like so, and then shove it into the disconnect, like that. I'll kind of just push it. And pull it off. So there's that. Now in doing this, I did not relieve the pressure. I mean, maybe this doesn't hold super pressure. If you want to relieve the pressure in your engine or in your fuel line, which I would recommend doing, you are going to find your relay F pump, which is this guy, I believe, and you're going to take that out. You're going to start the engine and you're going to run it until it dies, and then you can shut the key off, put your relay back in, and you will have relieved the pressure from your fuel system, and then you can proceed without any worry of fuel spraying out at high pressure. It might still leak out or come out, so be aware of that. Take any precautions. Fuel is explosive and dangerous, so be careful whenever you're working with it. So there's that. So we got that off. I'm probably just gonna reach down as far as I can or up from the bottom and cut that off, because I don't need that on there. And yeah, we'll feed, I think I'll feed the fuel line up, plug it in, and then just kind of like lay it along the line that's there, so I can kind of see how much extra I might have and see where it's going to line up. So I'm going to go do that. So here's kind of the transmission. Probably can't see very much, but that's all right at the moment. So let's see how I want to do this. So I'm going to feed this up right along the back side of them. Try not to touch anything really with the other end, because I don't want it to get full of crap. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to plug that into the back of the engine, or back of the fuel rail. Alright, so I got that fuel line up there. I'll make sure we don't kink it. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna run this. So, big line I'm cutting off there. I give you a lot of line. So I'm going to zip tie it in there, follow it back here, and down along the rail. Hopefully I can bend a 90 in it. It's going to be difficult. Huh. Well, I'm going to do a little bit more removing of the old line. So, like I said, I'm going to cut it off right here and pull everything out that's connected to that. And then I'm going to zip tie it along those lines and follow it down. I might stick the return line in there if I decide to change the return line. I kind of want to just change them all, so I might shove all the lines up there and connect them all at the engine and work my way this way instead of that way. I know they said to work your way from back from the fuel pump to the engine, but I have more space and it'll be easier to work in this big opening right here than it will be trying to work stuffing my arm behind the engine. So if you ask me, I say go from the front back and see what happens. And I'm willing to bet you're gonna have a ton of extra nylon line on this piece here. So yeah, I don't even think I need that little piece. So I'll put that little piece in, and then yeah, we're gonna have a whole bunch of line left over. All right, so I'm going to attempt to use this doodad. I haven't used it before. Looks pretty self-explanatory. Set it all up for the sizes you want. There's the sizes you want. Looks like you just leave it sticking out 1/4 inch. Plug your thing on and tighten these down and clamp it. Well, not clamp it, but press it in. So 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8 are the holes. I need to put a straight one in because yeah, they're not going in very well. So where's my guy? There he is. Let me put you somewhere where you can see too. Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. Alright. So these were the ones that were on the fuel tank itself. Okay. This is every bit about as much fun as you'd imagine. It's sticking out about 1/4 inch per se. So this has like a I don't know, threaded section here for grabbing it, and then there's a bigger section here, like a relief for the barb to go in. Alright. Well, it worked. I'm holding this down because I heard these things are kind of a piece of crap, so voila, it's in there. Lucky me. I'm hoping I don't have a problem with this line because I accidentally kinked it a couple of times. It didn't want to stop siphoning fuel, so I had to jack the front up some more, and then eventually I got enough tip that it stopped siphoning. There. New end. That's one. I gotta put a new end on the return line too. So I'm gonna finish hooking this up, and I gotta probably redo the pressure line from the, because it's so long. That's how long it is, and it's only got to go into that filter. So I gotta put the little short 20-inch one on to there, to the filter, and then cut that to length, and then press that one in the same way. Alright, so I found the length. I need to cut it. I just held this up to that, and then I lined up the mark where I was. That's how I know where I'm cutting this. So I got about 3 feet of extra cable. I don't know where they got their measurements for what size they needed, but I imagine this fits like a long bed and everything, probably. I'll try to cut this end off so I can reuse this end. Maybe. So I'm going to cut this end off. I'm going to slice up the side and try not to cut into it, and then I'm going to press this in. Alright, where's my light? Let's bring the light over a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. That's a little better. Get it started a little bit. Oops, I'm too fat. The instructions had it sticking out about 1/4 of an inch. Huh. That's not too bad. I'm probably blocking everything you're seeing, but I don't have any real place to put my hands when doing this. Pretty limited. Like the filter kind of fits in the hole, but it doesn't fit tightly. Maybe it got kind of swelled up with rust, I don't know. But I do know yeah. So there's that. I gotta put another end in the return line, and I have to cut this down and recrimp it, because this is the return line. It's, as you can see, well, actually you can't see, so I gotta cut that down and put another crimp on there and stick this end in. It shouldn't be a big deal, I don't think. And then yep, and then put a new end in the return line, and then stick this in there, and it should be good. I guess, you know, I don't have a super high opinion of this kit. I mean, it's functional. It'll work. It's as you can see, it's going to take some effort to get it right. I think if I were to do it again, I would probably just make it myself. Buy the line, press the ends in, and just make my own line rather than pay $150 for these 3 lines, because I got it because it was a kit and I thought, wow, that'd be pretty good. It'll fit right in, go good. It's all custom bent and all that, and then just finding how much work I have to do to get it to be what it should be. I think I would just make it myself next time, because the only difference, I mean, the only thing that I didn't do was press this end in there and then put these 2 ends together. I had to redo the end up at the top, and then I'll show you all that. But anyway, so I'm gonna finish these. Probably don't need to show you that. It's pretty much the same thing I just did. And then when we're done, I'll show you how I've gotten so far. So here's the lines from the fuel filter. I ran them along in here underneath the ABS module where they go. Came up over there. Came up here. That's where I cut the lines off, and then I ran them up. Ran them up along the transmission, and I didn't make a tight bend there. I just kind of brought it over. I followed it better, tighter up top. I don't know if you can see, it follows the contour of the lines pretty tightly to keep it underneath the firewall of the transmission tunnel there, where the seam is, because I didn't want it to wear there and cut through. And then I followed the lines right up the back. So I had to put another block under there, and yes, I fell off once because I forgot I was up there. I didn't fall off, but I started to get down, and then I realized how high I was as I was starting to get down, because I forgot the front was jacked up, and I might have dismounted rather quickly. So here's where the lines come up. I just left the return line there. I cut the supply line off, and then I bent them straight up. They do bend towards the front, and I bent them up straight so these lines wouldn't rub on them. I don't know if you can see very well. I got them straight up. And then this one here, you're supposed to, on your purge line for your evap line, you're supposed to splice into this line in the middle, they say. So you can see I cut it right there. It still feeds to the back, so I just got to cut that off, or I'll just leave it. Doesn't really matter at the moment. If it gets in the way later, I got to do something, I'll cut it off. But I just looped this. So I crimped this end here onto this end. As you can see, that end was crimped. I tried to get the crimp off so I can shorten the hose, and I couldn't get it off, and I don't have another one of that size. So what I did was I just put that loop in there, and it'll be fine. It doesn't interfere with anything. So I'm gonna come take our Vortec doohickey, put it back in, and screw that back on. I'll tighten that down so you can see it's not interfering with anything. It kind of goes in the back and out the front. So I'll finish up under here, and I'll give it a try, see how it goes. Alright, so this works. It'll make the turn well. So this got like a little pinch. I don't know if you can see. Might be the light's all wrong, but it's got one little crimping. I mean, it's a hose clamp, but it's like a crimping one. So I'll put that on and try to shove this in. made it. A pair of these crimping pliers. It's on pretty good. So let's plug this in. Hope I got enough. And I think I might have cut it too short. That would stink. That'll work. Would have liked it a little bit longer, but I wasn't in there when I cut it, so I should have probably cut it a couple inches and it would have been a little bit better. But anyway, it fits. So let's start it up. This one over here. These, I don't think it's going to really work anymore because really would like that to keep it from getting, I don't like how it's going to rub on that. Probably put a zip tie or something to hold this up. All right, so look at me. I got one right here. All right. Let's start it up. See if anything leaks. Alright, so we ain't got any leaking up here. Let's go look underneath. Leak in there. I don't think the line's gonna leak anywhere. Pressure line's good. Turn line's good. So let's see. I don't see anything leaking that wasn't leaking before. Got a little leak somewhere. Looks like it's coming from up top, but I don't have to worry about it right now. So anyway, hope that can help somebody. Thanks for watching.